Part 1, The Hook. 00 to 030. Fast-cut dark-themed animation of eyes scanning a crowd. Text flashes, you see more than you think. Then a quick cut to a shadowy figure crossing arms, eyes shifting. Have you ever sensed someone's lying before they said a single word? Or felt you couldn't trust a person you just met, but had no idea why? In the next few minutes, you'll uncover the psychological shortcuts your brain uses to read body language instantly, without your conscious awareness. And the moment you spot these signals, your conversations, your relationships, even your safety, will never be the same again. Production note, visual pulse with each sentence, end hook with a sharp zoom in on a subtle facial microexpression. Part 2, setup context, 030 to 130. Transition to a cleaner animated infographic of a brain mapping out signals from eyes, hands, posture. Ambient music shifts to a subtle suspenseful tone. Here's the truth. Your brain is a high-powered pattern detector. Every time you walk into a room, it's scanning faces, gestures, posture, processing thousands of signals before you consciously notice a thing. It's like having invisible radar that picks up danger, attraction, or deception in seconds. Think of it as your mind's silent security system. Always on, always analyzing. But most people don't know they're already experts at reading body language. The problem is you ignore the signals or second-guess your gut until it's too late. And there's one body language sign almost everyone misreads. It's easily the most misunderstood and most dangerous. I'll reveal it before the end, because if you miss this one, you're at risk for the worst kind of manipulation. Production note, screen split between someone smiling and someone subtly clenching a fist. Text fades in. Miss this, and you might regret it. Part 3, main content, 1:30 to 10 minutes. Section 1, the power of mirroring, A concept, 030. Production note, animation shows two figures in conversation. One crosses legs, then the other mimics the move. The first psychological signal, mirroring. When people subconsciously copy your body language, your posture, gestures, even your speech rhythm, it means they feel connected. It's called the chameleon effect. B example, 1 minute. Imagine this, you're at a job interview. You lean in slightly, the interviewer leans in too. You cross your hands, and a few moments later, so do they. No conscious decision, just a silent dance. Or maybe you're on a date, and you notice your companion starts sipping their drink every time you do. Dialogue goes, I've always wanted to backpack through Europe, you say, leaning forward. They lean in too, smiling, me too. Where would you go first? It feels natural, but it's not random. I'm with you. I like you. C. Why it works, 045. This happens because of mirror neurons, cells in your brain that fire both when you act and when you see someone else act. They're the foundation of empathy. When someone mirrors you, their brain is literally syncing with yours. Studies from Princeton show mirroring builds trust faster than words ever could. D. Defense, 030. Notice when mirroring feels forced or only flows one way, like someone copying you, but never letting you lead. That's a red flag for manipulation. If this happens, subtly change your posture unexpectedly. If they keep following, you'll know they're trying to influence your feelings. Production note, pattern interrupt. Animation flashes, mirroring isn't always friendly. Close up on a handshake that turns tense. And here's where it gets really interesting. Section 2, eye blocking and microexpressions. A concept, 030. Production note, animation zooms to a face with rapidly changing eye movements. When people suddenly close their eyes, look away, or blink rapidly after a question, it's often an unconscious attempt to hide discomfort, anxiety, or even deception. Example 115. Picture a coworker being asked about a missed deadline. Instead of holding your gaze, they break eye contact, glance downward, maybe even rub their eyes. The conversation might sound like, "Did you send out that report?" They blink, look away, and mutter, "Oh, I think I emailed it last night." Or in an argument, your partner's eyes dart to the side as they say, "Nothing's wrong, I'm fine." Why it works, 045. The brain's threat system, the amygdala, triggers these micro movements to avoid social risk. Eye blocking is a leftover from our evolutionary wiring. If you don't see the threat, maybe the threat won't see you. According to Dr. Paul Ekman, who pioneered microexpression research, these signals leak truth before a person can control their face. Defense, 030. When you spot sudden eye blocking, pause the conversation. Instead of pushing, say, "It seems like this is uncomfortable. Want to take a minute?" This instantly shifts the power dynamic. You acknowledge the signal without aggression and regain control. Production note, transition sound, zoom in on an animated clock ticking, then fade to a neutral, relaxed face. But that's just the start. The next sign is so subtle it slips past even trained observers. Section 3, the foot-pointing truth. Concept, 030. Production note, camera pans down to animated feet pointing away from the conversation. Most people focus on faces, but your feet give you away. Unconsciously, we point our feet toward what we want or away from what we dislike or fear. This is called directional intent. Example, 1 minute. At a party, you're chatting in a group. One person's feet are turned toward the exit, even though they're smiling and nodding. Dialogue, "Yeah, that sounds great," they say, but their feet point at the door, shifting restlessly. Or at work, during a tense meeting, someone's feet inch toward a supportive colleague instead of the boss. They might say, "I think John's idea makes sense," while their feet angle toward John, signaling hidden alliance. Why it works. 045. Feet are the least consciously controlled part of body language. It's a leftover survival instinct. Our ancestors literally pointed their feet toward escape routes or allies. A University of Manchester study found that people trust nonverbal signals from the feet more than from the face because they're so hard to fake. Defense. 030. The next time you're negotiating, glance at the other person's feet. If they're pointed at the door, they're mentally checked out. Redirect by asking, "Is there something else on your mind?" It makes you appear intuitive and hard to deceive. Pattern interrupt with animation. Feet never lie. Text on screen. But what most people don't realize is, Section 4, the sudden freeze. A. Concept. 030. Production note, animation freezes mid-motion, all color drains except the frozen character. Ever seen someone suddenly stop moving during a tough conversation? This is called a freeze response. It's not just fear, it's your brain's way of saying, "I'm processing threat, don't attack." B. Example. 1 minute. You're confronting a friend about a rumor. They laugh, gesture wildly, then suddenly go completely still. Their hands grip the table. Dialogue. "Look, I just need to know if you said it." They stop. Eyes wide, barely breathing. "Why would you even ask me that?" C. Why it works. 045. The freeze response is ancient. Our ancestors survived by staying perfectly still when predators appeared. Modern stress triggers the same circuitry. The sympathetic nervous system floods the body with stress hormones, freezing muscles to avoid detection. Research in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior links freezing to high-stakes deception and social anxiety. D. Defense. If you notice a freeze, lower your voice and soften your body language. Say, "It's okay, I just want to understand." This invites honesty and diffuses tension, giving you the upper hand. Production note, animation shifts to warmer colors, character relaxes. That was powerful, but the next signal is nearly invisible, and almost never discussed in public. Section 5, the pacifying gesture. A. Concept. 030. Production note, animation highlights a nervous person fiddling with jewelry, rubbing neck, or touching their face. Pacifying gestures are self-soothing moves. Touching one's neck, rubbing hands, playing with a watch. These are unconscious attempts to relieve anxiety or guilt. B. Example. Imagine you're negotiating a raise. You mention your achievements, and your boss starts rubbing his temple, tugging his ear, or fiddling with a pen. "Let me think about it," he says, fingers tapping nervously on the desk. Or your partner is late and you ask where they've been. They touch their lips, adjust their collar. "Traffic was just crazy, you know?" C. Why it works. 045. These gestures activate the parasympathetic nervous system, your brain's way of calming stress. Dr. David Givens, an expert in nonverbal communication, found that people leak guilt or discomfort through these tiny actions, even when their words say the opposite. D. Defense. 030. When you catch a pacifying gesture, don't call it out. Instead, stay silent and hold eye contact a few seconds longer. The discomfort often compels the truth to surface. Production note, pattern interrupt. Animation zooms on hand fidgeting, then text. Truth leaks in the hands. Now pay close attention to this next part, because it's the one most people miss, and it can put you in real danger. Part 4, the big reveal, payoff, near 10 minutes to 11:30. Production note, dramatic music cue. Animation zooms out to a matrix of people, one with a mask that briefly flickers. Remember that signal everyone misreads? Here it is, the too perfect smile. Most people believe a big, open smile means warmth and trustworthiness. But beware, when a person's smile doesn't crinkle their eyes, or lasts a beat too long, it's often a social mask. Psychopaths and skilled manipulators use the Duchenne smile fake to create false trust. Studies from the University of California show that genuine smiles always involve the eyes. If you catch a smile that's all teeth, no eye movement, or lingers after the conversation turns serious, your brain will feel that twinge of unease. Trust it. That's your subconscious detecting a threat behind the charm. Production note, animation shows a loop of real versus fake smiles, eyes lighting up, versus staying cold. Text, look to the eyes. Enda. Part 5, practical application, 11:30 to 12:30. Here are 3 ways to use these hidden signs, starting today. 1. During your next meeting or date, observe who's mirroring you and who's forcing it. Subtly change your posture and see what happens. 2. When someone dodges your eye contact after a tough question, don't push. Offer a pause and see if their story changes. 3. Always check the feet in group talks. If someone's feet are pointed away, they're halfway out the door, mentally or emotionally. These subtle moves will make you the most psychologically aware person in any room, and far harder to manipulate. Part 6, Natural CTA, 12:30 to 1300. If you want the full guide on decoding human behavior, how to detect manipulation, read motives, and protect yourself in any situation, the Human Behavior Code is linked down in the description. It'll take your awareness to a level most people never reach. Part 7, Closer. 1300 to 1330. Remember, the more you understand about human behavior, the harder you are to manipulate. Stay aware, stay protected, and I'll see you in the next one. Production note, end screen animation, shadowy figures fade into clarity, text, knowledge is protection.